Hey guys, what's going on? It's Rekt Capital and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin's price action and what to expect over the coming days and over the coming weeks as well. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future and let's dive right in. So you can see here very clearly that the 21-week EMA is holding as a support and Bitcoin is comfortably well above this 21-week EMA, but by the same token, we're seeing that this 21-week EMA is curling up quite substantially, something that we tend to see when Bitcoin really generates a lot of bullish momentum, and you're actually seeing this sort of curl up over here, very similar to that curl up over here. So we are seeing some trend acceleration in Bitcoin's price action, and the fact that Bitcoin has been able to reclaim a time-tested, valuable bull market indicator such as a 21-week EMA, reclaim it as a support, that's a really good confirmation that Bitcoin has returned to the bull market. And by the same token, we've seen a higher low form on the midterm retest of this Pi cycle 111-day moving average, and since retesting that level, Bitcoin has rallied 28%, something I've been mentioning on the Rekt Capital newsletter, something we've been talking about consistently, the Pi cycle moving average and that midterm retest. And when considering Bitcoin's monthly range here, you can see that Bitcoin has broken out very strongly from its monthly range, consolidation here for 2 months, but still at a higher low, and a higher low to this low and this low as well. So for 1, 2, 3, and even 4 months, monthly higher lows here, and a breakout to boot. Of course, you could argue that it's too early in the month to be celebrating this wonderful breakout because we could see an upside wick like this end. Ultimately, what we're watching for the monthly close later this October is to just stay above 47k. That's it. And at the moment, so far so good. This looks like a breakout that is really healthy and sustainable. But as long as it closes above 47k, that's a confirmed breakout in that case. But if we look here on the weekly time frame, so far so good, because we've seen a confirmation of the breakout from the monthly range on the weekly time frame. So wonderful candle close above this level, range high resistance, and wonderful retest attempt over here to turn that old resistance into a new support. So this is going to lend itself to the monthly candle close being quite well positioned relative to that confirmation for the breakout. So far so good here for Bitcoin's price action. And now this is going to be the major resistance to watch out for, right? Because when we rejected back here a few weeks ago, we saw a minus 24% correction, and Bitcoin has been able to recover since then. But what we need to also talk about is that this is going to be a resistance area to watch out for. But are we losing steam with each rejection from this region? Is this area weakening in the sell side pressure? Because if we're just retracing minus 24% from that region, forming a higher low to showcase that investors are happy to buy at the bottom at premiums, at higher price levels, then perhaps this region over here is weakening. That's something to watch out for, but ultimately I want to see a weekly candle close above this level right over here, because that would confirm further upside for Bitcoin. But of course, this is arguably the most important chart right over here, because for 5 months, Bitcoin has been consolidating on the macro scale inside a reaccumulation range that resembles a flagging structure. So for 5 months, we've been consolidating here, and you can notice by this rejection over here and over here, we tend to see upside wicks beyond this diagonal resistance. So it's really important that we see a monthly, or at least a weekly candle close, above 50,800, because that's going to confirm the end of this macro downtrend and the beginning of a macro new uptrend. So that weekly candle close is going to be really important, because it's also going to play in to this level giving way as a resistance and really enabling Bitcoin to move to higher levels. But in any case, just notice how right over here we saw a 50% crash on this rejection from the black diagonal resistance, and over here we've seen a 24% crash. So we're already seeing a declining rate of rejection on these 2 points of pulling back from the black diagonal resistance. So if we were to reject here, would it be sensible to assume that we could see a minus 12% pullback because we are declining by a rate of 2, which would bring us into the mid 40s, into the higher 40s? Of course, there's no need to rush to that conclusion because, of course, this is only short-term price action in terms of that rejection. But the main thing to watch out for is this weekly candle close. And if we get it, new uptrend, new macro uptrend, and that's going to be a really bullish technical event. But if we do weekly candle close below here, possibly a 12% rejection would take place. But we're still going to be watching out for these higher lows right over here for Bitcoin to be able to find support as low as this red area right over here. To just find that inclining tendency of buy support from investors. And this is the most important chart for the time being. And this, of course, is also painting key levels for Bitcoin. So, of course, we are waiting for that weekly candle close above this 52K region, and we're waiting to see this downtrend close as well. But this is going to be a region for bullish momentum to get retained. So a dip into this region around 49, that would enable a buy the dip to enable a weekly candle close above this region if we see that sort of dip. But if we see a rejection from this diagonal right over here with a weekly candle close below, then we're going to probably pull back and maybe even revisit this region right over here. So that's just to give you some food for thought. Let's see how this weekly candle close occurs. That's the most important chart right now. But at the moment, it's really promising to see a declining rate of rejection from this downtrending resistance, because now that Bitcoin only had to take a few weeks to return back up at a higher low, back to this point in time, point on the chart, really promising to see that sort of buy side strength. And we need to question this resistance. Is it weakening? Because there are signs to suggest that that might be the case. In any case, guys, thank you so much for watching today. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future, and of course like the video if you enjoyed this one and would like to see more content like this going forward. I'm Rekt Capital, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Speak to you soon.